I've heard a lot of trans women say, like, we do femininity better than you. We teach y'all how to do makeup. We teach you how to do hair. Like, we don't get mad because I'm wearing it better than you. What would you say to that?
Okay, so that person is absolutely delusional and crazy. Okay. You cannot do something better than the blueprint. You just can't. Okay. That person I heard say something about, we are the ones that are hyper feminine. There's no look, if you are hyper feminine, something's wrong, obviously, right? Hyper is in front of it. And femininity is not just clothes. It's
Or
not
hair?
just or hair or makeup. Like everybody has feminine and masculine energy or whatever. And because you want to suppress your masculinity so that you can get about life the easy way, because if we're being perfectly honest, most of them are just cowards and don't want to have to be responsible and don't want to operate as men. Okay.
Yeah, because
We're
it ain't easy to operate as no man. I mean, especially if you're not like a select man, it would just be easier to just be a bitch.
and that's why so many of them, gay or straight, operate like bitches.
You might have, you might have a point with that, because now that I think about it, I don't see in I was talking to Love Jones about this too. We don't see trans men going after real men the way that trans women and real women butt heads. We just don't see it.
Well, and I've been saying this for like a year now. This is a natural thing. Okay. I don't know why this is confusing to people, but the problem is trans men are still biologically women. So what they're going to do is they're going to take their natural place when they're amongst men. They're not coming into men's spaces, changing the rules and demanding anything. They're sitting there and they're eating their fucking food. Okay? They're not co-opting the men's spaces. They're not challenging their manhood. They're not even fighting to be called men in the way that trans women are fighting for womanhood. Because why? Men's nature is to dominate. Men's nature is to come in and create an environment where they are, running stuff, where they are conquering. They're coming into women's spaces and conquering. This is why they sit up there and say, we're doing this better, or we're doing this and you're going to have to deal with it, no matter what. They're exerting their masculinity as women.
You got a point, because when a man talks to a man, you have to come at a man a certain way, otherwise it's gonna be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Like, men just ain't tolerating that bullshit. Now women would typically go back and forth and argue with you and fuck you girl, now fuck you girl, but men
No,
is
you're like when you're in the presence of a man and you have to, and it just like, and it's up, you're going to you're gonna submit, because you know what I'm saying. You're going to submit as as a person that's not as strong, or what these look. How many times do you see trans men physically confronting, attacking, or threatening biological men? You do not see it.
I've never
I've
seen.
never seen that. But on the contrary, we do see the threats from trans women. We see the threats, we see the fights, we see um look, they're bullies. I've never seen a quote unquote trans man threaten to beat a biological man up.
Me either. I can't say I have. Like, the most I've seen is maybe a trans man on TikTok talking about how his strap don't go down like a real dick does. I can fuck your girl all night, like something like that, but not literally
Yeah, they
like
say
I'm gonna beat
stupid shit
your ass.
like that,
No,
but yeah.
but not like I'm gonna beat your ass. No.
No, hell no.
Okay, let's get back. Let's get back to the allyship. Now, from the LGBT side, what I've gathered from their content and their response is, we there for y'all women when y'all men ain't doing right. We lend y'all money when your nigga ain't taking care of his kids. We might babysit for you. We your shoulder to cry on. We your surrogate husband. We your good Judies. But as soon as you get mad at us, you use derogatory terms at us. So they feel that the disrespect is coming from y'all end whenever y'all get mad at them. And then women are saying, nah, the disrespect is actually coming from y'all. So let me ask you, where is the disrespect originating from?
Okay, so first of all, that is a crybaby ass stupid response, right? And I'll explain why. When women are friends, all those things that they describe women do for each other, friends do for each other. And I've heard the talking point about when a woman gets mad when you're there, when you're their good Judy, the first thing they do is attack your sexuality and call you gay or gay, gay this, gay that, whatever. That's what people do when they get mad.
Mm.
That's what people do. If you fat and you get into it with your friend, the first thing your friend gonna say is
You
sit
gonna
your
say
fat
you
ass
fat motherfucker, yo?
sit your fat ass down. If you broke, they're gonna sit your broke ass down. You bald headed, sit your bald headed ass down. Like again, they are fucking crybabies.
Oh my god.
They crybabies. Like that.
Hey, I just, I gotta give, I gotta ask you the question so you can give your opinions on the talking points, because that's what
Mhm.
they're saying. Because I've even
Yeah, they
heard,
lying.
I've
They
even
full
heard,
of shit.
I've, I've even heard them say like, y'all cool, but we can never really be friends. That's why I said last night, I don't think you can cross the lines. I think women need their own lane. Let gay people have their lane. Let trans people have their lane. I think trying to blur it and mix and integrate has fucked everything up.
One of the reasons why I believe that women really need to pay attention, even women that are lesbian, you need to really rethink that community and your alignment to it. Because again, lesbians are getting marginalized within the LGBTQIA community. Like there is some infighting, but the infighting does not matter because all of the advancements that are made on behalf of that community as a group. And so no one within that group are going to want to rescind any of their concessions or any of their gains just because a part of the movement is jacking things up or whatever. They win as a group. They move as a group. There are legislations passed on their behalf as a group. It's not, oh, we're doing this for the lesbians, the gays, and the bis. No, they're doing it for the LGBTQIA plus. Now, the infighting, I don't know if you know about that, but the lesbian, gays, and bis are trying to separate, I guess, on social media because they're not doing it as far as their social group or whatever. But the LGB say that the TQIA plus is the problem because their community originally was about their sexuality, and the extension of the TQIA is more so about identification and all this
And
kind of
gender
stuff,
expression. Oh
gender
wow.
expression. So yeah, so it's kind of like moving outside of what they originally planned. But again, the legislation is passed as a group. So if you're in alignment with that group, and here's a perfect example. Brittany Griner.
Yes.
Brittany Griner was asked if trans women should be excluded from competing with biological women. Brittany Griner said it's a crime to not allow a trans woman to compete with biological women.
They're
So
gonna be
Brittany
dunking on
Griner,
them. They're gonna be dunking on them in a minute.
right? So Brittany Griner is basically of the mindset that she is more loyal to her community based on her sexuality than she is her gender.
Mm, damn.
So she doesn't care about the fragile gains of women, the safety of women and children, because it's like this situation is a lot bigger than just them parading around in costumes. You have children that have started petitions because they want separate bathrooms because they're tired of seeing dicks in the bathroom with them. We're talking about little girls who don't want to see penises, who don't want to be, who don't, who want a separation from that. And they are being told to shut up. They are being like 10-year-old girls, you know, you
And,
got
and,
the
and let's speak on that. Like, if you have like, if I'm sending my daughter into the locker room or to a restroom at a restaurant, whatever, I am expecting that that's a female bathroom. That's what I'm
Mhm,
expecting because I can't
mhm,
go in there. So that's what I'm expecting. So
right.
I'm not. I mean, I'm not understanding why it's not even common sense to just have a third bathroom option so that we don't have to mix in that way.
And it's so many things. And then I mean, another good example, T.S. Madison. What did T.S. Madison say in that old clip? Start pad shaming, right? You have no business in a woman's intimate place, a bathroom where women are the most vulnerable in public, if you're going to make fun of like a woman would never do that. We know that there are many reasons why a woman may have a larger pad. Could be medical, could all kinds of things, but I've never seen a woman pad shame. That is a very misogynistic and biofemphobic thing to do.
And I do remember, because I can't be fake, I do remember the interview that I did with her back in 2019. And we asked her about the bathroom thing, and she was like, well, it would look weird if I went in the same bathroom as Storm, it would look weird.
Mm-hmm.
Which it would throw me off, I ain't gonna lie. However, you don't have a vagina. Damn, okay, yeah. Yeah, you're right.
And I'm not, look, it's like this. There are too many things that people are not thinking about that are happening because of them needing to fight for our identity. We have a trans activist right now who was on the front lines of making sure, I can't think of the name right now. I was just talking about him last night, but this trans activist was on the front lines of helping to get the legislation passed to make sure that trans people were allowed to be in bathrooms of their choices, right? That same trans person murdered a lesbian couple and their child because one of the a part of the couple didn't want anything to do with their little bike club anymore. So he got mad, went to their house, murdered them. Now that trans person is sitting in prison in a woman's facility, bullying, threatening, and intimidating the women that are there. And that's another thing that a lot of people are not thinking about when it comes to like homeless shelters. Everywhere women are vulnerable, these people, and I'm not saying that they're all sick like this, right? But it's a lick for them. They go in there, I'm a woman. They get to be amongst the most vulnerable of women, the most vulnerable of society, and they're going in there assaulting them where they're supposed to be safe. The places where women are seeking refuge, they don't get refuge because anybody can take on their identity. And that, yeah, just like your comment just said, that's happening too.
I've heard about that too. That is wild.
Yep.
Well, I mean, I can't argue against that.
It's a storm show. Ay, it's a storm show.